Hi, it's Monday, May 4th, 2020. And I can't help but think that our country is suffering from a failure of imagination. That we become very accustomed to how our economy works, for example. And this, what I call a virulent strain of capitalism that we've been practicing, is just we've come to accept it as the way things are. And it's one thing during this pandemic that we've seen is the failure of the systems that we have put so much trust and faith in. One of the things I don't see us talking about in terms of how we're going to care for each other, how we're going to get through this pandemic in terms of health, is that one of the reasons we have to do stay at home is because our hospitals cannot handle the influx of patients that will come as a result of us congregating too much together and the rate at which the virus spreads. And part of that, not talking about that, is that our hospitals can't handle that because we haven't put the resources into our hospitals being a place of caretaking for the community. Rather, we've looked at them as businesses, and we run them lean and we run them mean. Well, mean in the sense of lean and economically viable to keep them afloat, rather than how do they serve the community. Now, if we were to rethink things, what would that look like? And there's no reason we can't rethink our economy and how we work with one another and how we support each other as we start to go out into the world. What are the things people need? They need jobs, sure. But can we go back to the jobs we had before when we know that our children are at home and they need to be taken care of? So the first thing I'm going to call for us to use our imagination is for unity. What does unity look like? Because if we're not working together, this is coming out, going back out into the world, and that's not going to work very well for us. We're just going to end up right back to where we started at. And anyone who's ever had a problem in their life knows that you got to change the way you do things, or you're just going to end up back in the same situation again. And the way you do things is rooted in the way you think. So how can we change the way we think? And let's start with some concepts. And one of them, going back to unity, is how do we work together? What does it look like? What does it look like when a nation comes together to work with one another? What does that mean when there's health care for everyone? How do we do that? How do we support our elders and make sure that they're well taken care of? How do we make sure that people who have done a crime, that they have an opportunity to have their time out, remove them from their situation, and at the same time, how do we help them align their hearts and their minds so that they can come back out in the community and be successful? How do we create jobs, the type of jobs that help families to support themselves with a reasonable amount of effort? And also, how do we educate ourselves and our children so that we have this functioning society? So what is unity? What does unity look like? Use your imagination to give it shape, to give it form, to give it things that you can see in your mind. That's my challenge to you today. How do you see unity? With that, you know that I love you. I send you blessings whether I know you or not. And as Ernest Holmes always said, there's a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it. And I'll add, in that power for good, it can use you. All right. Like, subscribe, and I will talk to you later.